day, baby. Every time I close my eyes, ooh, get a glimpse of this candy paint. Don't slip off when it drip off on top. You really see it here, lift it up and toss it back. I know everything you want. I'ma show you how I stroke it. Bring your watch on top of me. I'ma let you beat it, boss on me. I know everything you want. Give me that daddy long stroke. I can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Tear that cherry out. I can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Tear that cherry out. I want you to tear that cherry out. Tear that cherry out. I want you to tear that cherry out. Women out there. I can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Tear that cherry out. I can't wait till I get home so you can tear that cherry out. Tear that cherry out. I want you to tear that cherry out. Tear that cherry out.
Oh, hey. Sorry for anybody who was left waiting in the chat for a minute. We have a couple technical difficulties here and again, but we are here. We are back to talk. I want to call this show Sex in the City so bad, but it is everything but that. But it isn't just like that. Season 3, episode 3. Get on in here, hit the like button, leave a comment, talk some mess. Say Aiden ain't ish and you're tired of them. Do whatever you want to do. Just have a good time. Ashley, how are you feeling? Are you ready to get into it just like that?
I am ready to get it in. I mean, I'm ready. I am ready to get into all the things and just like that because now Carrie is a dope dealer, and she who must not be named is living up to her must not be namedness by being a complete devil, and I
No,
can't wait to talk about that.
no, because you keep getting my people in the chat with the she who must not be named. You know the people gonna want to know why you can't name her if you keep saying that. We gonna get to that when we get to old Lisa there. But like I said, you guys be sure to chat it up and hit that like button for us and give us, some of that good old engagement that we like to get so much. But Ashley, I am going to come to you first. What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
It was an improvement over episode 2. However, it for whatever reason, something's not clicking, Steven. It's not clicking yet for me, Steven. I think I just want more. Like I really want some of that over the top salaciousness that we were kind of getting into and that we got sparingly. I kind of want more of that. I feel like we're in a holding pattern, especially with Carrie and this fake relationship that she's having all by herself. I'm kind of annoyed by it. I do like Charlotte's progression, even though I thought in this episode she was way too old for that. Like, Charlotte, girl, you know what time it is. Some of the things I think are just so fantastical, it's hard for me to believe. But I mean, she who must not be named is up to no good around the neighborhood, which I mean, it all tracks. It tracks at the end of the day. And as far as the rest of the story, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on Miranda to give all of the things she's supposed to give. I thought we were headed in a new direction with her, but she's still after the cat too, Tyra. So I don't know. I just want to see them evolve some. That's all.
This was a minor improvement from episode 2, but that's not saying much. The show still isn't coming full circle. I'm still not invested in any of these lady stories, like nobody's. I could give a damn. I see the possibilities of where we could be headed, but if I'm longing for the cringier moments that we got in those previous seasons, there's a problem. There's a problem. It just feels like the show keeps towing the line of nothing happening at all, a little bit happening, cringiness, or we're just still and boring. And I just need it to just come along. It came along a little bit, but I'm always need a little bit more. We gonna keep talking about it. But let's go on and start with Little Miss Drug Mule here
Oh
because,
my
ma'am, what is going on with Carrie? It's so much going on with Carrie and nothing at the same damn time. Carrie the drug mule is what we're calling her because first we have her changing her genre out of nowhere. Like, yeah, it's gonna be the fantasy. And I say that's poignant because you're daydreaming in this castle. And I really miss Carrie's narration from the OG show, and it
Mhm.
makes me sick when we get it here. And it's, as she whisked away and looked out the window and thought to herself, look, ma'am, this is not the same. Carrie, this is not the same. We're getting her passage or a section, a narrative from her book, like an excerpt. I don't want that. But we're switching over to fantasy to me because she is lost in this fantasy, in this facade of whatever she thinks she has going here with Aiden. And it is just not that. You have her manager present her with all these great places to go for these speaking engagements. No, I'm gonna go here because it gets me a little bit closer to Virginia and gets me closer to Aiden just to have lunch. I could just have lunch with Aiden and oh, I can give him a key. And yeah. Before we even get to that nonsense and everything revolving around Aiden, it seems like she is the one making all of the effort, all of the accommodations, and Aiden is just, I'll see what I can do. The baby mama, wifey, I love how she has her saved in the phone, Aiden's wife. Hey, Carrie, no. Had the nerve to hit me up and say, well, don't put my kids in your book. Don't write about them. I don't want them on your page. No, none of that. Keep it cute, girl. Okay. Don't hurt Aiden either. But you can call up and ask me for some Adderall. Like, and not just asking for Adderall like you down the street, go on and walk a couple of blocks and bring me some because it's a shortage here and Wyatt needs it. No, you want me to keister some weed, damn near. We might as well be prison. Some Adderall for Wyatt. Can you do that? Because since you got your degree and you know every damn thing, aren't you, Carrie? Can you get my baby some Adderall and smuggle it on the plane? Insane. Carrie's insane. And if Aiden knew about this, I'm sure he did from what we got towards the ending. Y'all just allowed this to happen, and we all thought it was okay. Even grown ass Carrie, who should have told that heifer no. Ashley,
Yeah, Carrie is an interstate drug trafficker at this point, and to me, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense because how would somebody have the gumption, the wherewithal, the unmitigated gall to call your line? And she's like, "What do you want? You don't want me to come?" Like, girl, like this lady does not have this amount of power, and why are you giving it to her? Carrie is reminding me of a lost schoolgirl with her first crush. I'm like, girl, what is this? First of all, you can't even call him ho. He left you for dead. All right. You can't even call him on the telephone. And you're going to pop up in Virginia for lunch to give him a key because it's his house. Girl, what did he put down on that house? That's Big's house. That's posthumously Big's house because Aiden ain't put in on that man. Like, boy, please. Carrie literally is living in a fantasy world. And this is the first time I'd heard of the genre romantasy or whatever her agent said. I thought it was hilarious. But no, there's no way I'm muling drugs on an airplane for you in a plastic baggie in my titty. Like, please be so serious to some damn kids I can't even meet. Cause this hoe won't even let me in the house. I gotta stay with the help in the barn. Like,
girl.
I am over this entire narrative. Like, I really want her to put on her big girl panties, be a woman about it, and look at the picture for what it is. You are the least of his concerns, the least of his priorities at this point. Girl, you can't even stay in the main house.
Girl,
I
the
don't
big
know what the problem. You can't even call him on the telephone. Like, what are we even doing? And I would have hung up on his wife on the phone because why are you calling me? I'm not doing that. You're not. I thought it was a setup. I said, oh, that'd be interesting if you picked
it's
her
a
up
setup.
at
She
the
trying to get her
airport.
locked up. She low key
Listen,
on
I'm
Aiden
like,
for herself. She trying to get locked.
at least that would be interesting. But everything she's doing to make herself acceptable and accessible for Aiden, I think is really sick because he's not doing anything of the sort. He don't give a damn at this point, Carrie. He really doesn't. And it's unfortunate she's wasting these good years that she's got left chasing after this man.
I think the writers are missing the point, especially even with Aiden, but in general. So much of Sex in the City, it's naturally revolving around Carrie, but she's kind of always right, never wrong. Even when she's wrong, it just feels like payback, like get back. Like no longer is anybody's core going to surround you. Now but it's like it needs to at least make sense, especially for these grown adult ass years. I'm not doing that, and you shouldn't even ask me to. And I don't know. I just feel like they want us to think she shouldn't, or at least she shouldn't think she should expect any more of Aiden than what he's giving her because of what she's putting him through. And I just feel like that's just completely unfair. And it's sad. It's just real
Yes.
sad. They needed to get it together. But the drugs on the initiative, oh, let me just take this Adderall out of my bra. Just tell the whole damn plane, Carrie, you want to
I
get
want to go to
locked
jail.
up?
Mhm.
You want to get banned on the no-fly list and locked up and given some years? Like, Carrie, please get a grip on yourself and get a grip on your damn life. But moving on, moving on. Ah, now I saw, I think Saul 10 in the chat say, I say that about all the episodes, which brings us back to the OG Sex in the City. A lot of these episodes would benefit from being a 30-minute situation. That way we cut down on a lot of the fluff that I maybe feel like we don't need. Now, I know that the show got backlash for so many reasons. One being having their little arm candy might as well be an accessory gay best friends who are just gay and nothing else to the core friend group, unless Charlotte or Carrie needs them to be there. So they are going out of their way to give Anthony a storyline. First of all, don't be waiting on Lisa to bring in the cavalry. Y'all got one more time to center a business move around Lisa and her dealings with folks. Meanwhile, I ain't really even just seen her have a good seat at the table. Like, why she wasn't there with the other ladies? Why we waiting on Lisa to bring in the folks? Like, no, I need Lisa to be in the conversation. She's always, out. But Anthony's restaurant isn't doing the greatest, and he's nervous, this, that, and the third. And Giuseppe comes through with the print of Jesus in that little ass uniform and saves the day because Giuseppe gets the girls hot, even though he's a poet and he just really don't want to. I really appreciate what they're trying to do for a queer character, but it's wrong. It's wrong, and it's making me not like Anthony because I'm like, oh my god, Anthony, do we have enough to deal with? We don't need an additional nothing ass storyline, and that's what it is. It's nothing, and I'm sorry, I just don't care. Ashley, does Aiden? Does Anthony need his own storyline? And do you care about his dynamic with Giuseppe?
So here's the thing. I think every character could be valuable in and of himself. I enjoy his character, and I really enjoy his character in the interactions that he has as a family with Charlotte. Like when they're at the table for dinner and he's chiming in, making parenting suggestions or talking crazy to the kids or
Deodorant
talking crazy
wearing.
to Charlotte's husband. I like him in that space. I think what they're doing to his character though is a injustice because I feel like his character is worth developing. Like I think if you're going to do it, then just do it. And outside of everything else, his life isn't revolved around sex. And that seems to me what they've made his whole dynamic and relationship all about with Giuseppe, right? Like whether he was going to take it in the bum or not, like this whole thing of, who's going to be top and who's going to be bottom in the relationship and now Giuseppe's big D when I think there is more to Anthony than that. He's always come through with sage advice for the girls. Like I said, he's there when they need him. He's there in a pickle with the kids. I'd like to explore the family side of him. If it has to be with Giuseppe, that's fine for me, but I think it does his character a disservice to approach it and not really lean in because like okay, you're giving us this topical stuff. He opened up his brick and mortar, he's got a couple funny lines, but what else? I know there's more to him than that, and I think they're doing his character a disservice because I do actually like him.
Yeah, I like Anthony too. I love his dynamic with Charlotte because rock, go wear some deodorant. I don't care who you want to be. Put some deodorant on those pits. Like he's very generation where he's from. So he meets them on their level. Like he's not so PC like Charlotte. So he may say
Mhm.
some things that may be outlandish. But I think they believe if they stop it there, they're still kind of categorizing his character all around Charlotte and repeating what they did in Sex and the City. I
Mm.
thought this season, with him taking on Giuseppe and it being serious, we would get into an older man, younger man relationship dynamic and them kind of trying to meet in the middle because he had been, before he was, written out and became a monk, they were more so the same age.
Mm.
Now, we have a different dynamic and, it's the French and I'm the poet. I don't like those things. I thought they would do that, but no, it's just like, I never thought we would have to get Giuseppe in them little shorts again and see his prints. And Lord, if you, ma'am. And then these women in the show act like they ain't never seen them before. Say, Lord, y'all need to get out more.
And they don't really approach them as a real relationship. And again, I think it just does them a disservice because it's like, oh, he's gonna leave. We're just having sex. Like he's here for this when I need him, but we haven't really delved into the dynamics of their
No.
relationship at all.
Which they should, because I think Anthony's narrative with Giuseppe was, oh, you're young, you're vibrant, you got your beef and all this stuff. What would you want with me? I'm older,
Mhm.
and just to like really have some depth there, they just cut it off at Big D poet. It's like
Yeah.
okay, we'll see what happens, but if they're not gonna do anything, just remove Anthony as much. I don't want to say remove altogether. Miranda and the lesbians, because that's what it is at this point. There's no depth. Once again, there's no true narrative. I was yawning and just over this. I was like, oh my god, the best thing Miranda did all episode was make I'm a house sit or whatever and help you with your little cat little situation for your baby. But yeah, what are we worried about giving Aiden and Key for? He's only been here twice. And Carrie's like, "Oh, I don't need the judgment. You do need the judgment. Somebody needs to say something to you." Miranda saying that little small thing to Carrie was the most like Miranda than I've seen in a little while. But we had to dismiss it immediately as soon as she said it. But aside from that, she's just kind of still stuck in the middle of, well, how do I pursue it? Should I call her up? Should I do something grand? Should I low key? Well, what if she doesn't want? It's like they thought, you know what, we're going to completely subtract the Shay storyline because you guys said it was too much and it was cringy. And it's like, but yeah, there has to be a middle ground. That didn't
Yeah.
mean jump all the way to boredom. They had her doing so much in those first two seasons, and now she's doing nothing. I'm like, it's very hot and cold. This did nothing for me. I literally wouldn't care if Miranda never saw this woman again. There's not a whole lot of chemistry there. It's just we're just getting Miranda in the lesbians or somebody she thinks is a lesbian and they're not, and she's trying to pursue them. I know she's supposed to be dating, but it's not reading like that. It's quite uninspired. Ashley?
Yeah, I don't understand why Miranda couldn't still be the Miranda from before while she had this new awakening and went exploring. I don't see why they had to make her a love crazed horn dog. Like I don't get it. I don't know why she couldn't have just maintained composure while still dating, while still having a good time. But she is still, even though it's more reserved now, they've definitely pulled back. It still
Mhm.
gives desperation and thirst. Like, my God, girl, like, is that all you can think about? Like, again, especially because they tried to emphasize the point of her going back to school because she really wanted to pursue this, different career. And now she's moving in that. And I don't think we've been back in the office to see exactly what it is she's doing. Like, I'm
No.
more interested of the dynamic with the young ladies at the office and how I'm more there than there. But I mean, I was happy it was just happy hour this time, and she wasn't trying to take the ladies' panties down in the bathroom. Like, I just want to know who Miranda is at this point in her life. I get people evolve and they change, but I think we've only seen her in relationship to this new discovery about her sexuality and not really who she is. And I think that's disappointing because I would even like to see her with more interactions with Carrie. Like you said, telling her hard truths. Carrie's been doing the most. This is a very dumb decision. We got that from Anthony. We didn't get that from Miranda confronting her, like, other than, like you said, when she's putting the cat island together. But that was just a little thing and she backed off really easy. She's not there causing any. We need tension and we're not getting any tension in the friend group at all. And I get it's a comedy, but it's not funny either. So I think they
Maybe.
have to do something.
Yeah, typically, even at that moment at the table in Anthony's restaurant where Carrie was like, "So, Trip, everybody, Virginia," and Miranda's normally one like, "Hello, baby. Everybody doesn't live the same life. I have, responsibilities. I have to work. Yeah, that's cute and all, but I have to be such and such at X, Y, and Z." So it was they kind of have traces of it there, but it's just really non-existent. And I hate that we have to retract when she says something like, "Girl, we're worried about a key when Aiden's only been here twice. Get real with yourself." That's Miranda. But this is I don't know. I think we should have her it's just hard for me to see why she would be so heavily invested here when Steve was the stick in the mud. Oh, this is boring.
Mm.
Is this all we're gonna like? This literally looks boring.
More
It
so.
was like my life stopped, and I like I wish she would just, start living her life and just wait to see who comes to her rather than her, chasing whomever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Maybe she'll
yeah,
get
well, get what?
maybe she'll get it. Maybe she'll
Oh,
get the understanding. Like
it
this
was some
something. She's had
coaching.
enough of that. She had Rosie O'Donnell's cooch, episode 1. We don't I
Oh,
don't need
Lord. Now, baby, Lisa, your privilege is showing love. Beloved, beloved.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
was a mess. Like, once again, we got so much depth, and I felt like we grew so much when she miscarried, or just her trying to figure out her worth as a wife and a mother versus her career, and how she feels like she maybe let go of one and opted for the other, and she's upset about that. She feels like she's missing out. This is the time for me to center my career. Okay, cool. This situation here, where baby's getting the chance to work with good old Steve McQueen, world renowned,
Mhm.
versus this, PBS doc that we've been working on for. You've been here for 8 years. Me and you, 8 years. Yeah, girl, it was supposed to be one. It was supposed to be one. I've been in the pocket, been waiting. Why would I pass up on this opportunity? And why would you even ask me to? And she all argumentative with the husband and just feeling like nobody understands because this precious doc of hers seems to be slipping through her fingers, whether it's the editor being lost or her needing to incorporate more Michelle Obama. But yeah, Lisa needed to check herself. The Lisa, I don't know what we're doing with her because Lisa seems to be very centered, even though, in the wealth wise, in her blackness and trying to stay connected and maybe humble in a way. So when she said that, I was like, whoa, I didn't expect her to say that. I didn't
Mhm.
expect her to say that. But Ashley, but it's almost like they want to, interject some tension in there. Well, what? You can't just leave me. Like, you're going to just leave me? Like, ugh. But of course, she comes full circle later on, but just the fact that she didn't realize, like, but I have children. And I don't. I have children too. What are you talking about? I've been here with you this entire time, balancing it all. Like, we're no different economically, probably so, but it's been the same. And you shouldn't expect me to sacrifice in that way. You should want me to go and reach a higher plane in the way that I couldn't hear with you for 8 years. This was trash. Ashley.
Like she who must not be named. I keep trying to tell y'all, and y'all keep saying it's not true. Your slip is showing, miss. I know exactly who she is. I know exactly who she is, who she was. It sounds good, but finances are like the thing of it all. Socioeconomic status will always be that thing. I don't care if we're all black. Money will always be like the great divide. And she's got that in spades, honey. Because when that lady told her Steve McQueen, she said, okay, great. After our project is done, you'll go right over there. No, now. Well, no, you can't do that. You want me to turn down a black woman editor in this space? You want me to turn down the opportunity to work with Steve McQueen? Ho, is you cool? And then you go talk to your husband because you think he's gonna aid and abet your foolishness. She who must not be named. And he's like, it's Steve McQueen. Again, ho, is you cool? There are editors that you can find and give an opportunity to. To me, it's even more than privilege. It's like the condescension of it all. Like, you should be grateful that I kept you on for 8 years while I had my babies and paused and did this and did that because I kept you there. I brought you back every single time. Ho, I wasted, paused my life for 8 years because you wanted to have a baby, because you wanted to get married, because you wanted to be a PTA mom. Hell to the no. And it's like, oh, but you should. Ugh, this is a privilege and an honor. Like, of course you'll stay with me. Steve McQueen can wait. I'm more important. Ho, you're not. You're not. And I'll never forget it. This is who she is at her core. This is elitism, classism at its finest. I hope our good sis from the Powerverse goes on over there and gets a good nasty coin from Steve McQueen. And I hope she flounders a bit because, whole 8 years? 8 years for this 10 episode black woman piece? Girl, find something safe to do. Learn to edit yourself. You got all the time. You've got money. She who must
Child.
not be named. This pissed me off. This pissed me off. If Naya was there, it wouldn't have happened like that. I'm just saying. Where's Naya at? Bring back justice for Naya. Bring Naya back.
I think Lisa is lost. I think she has so much regret and resentment, even in the way, because despite how we feel about the husband and how we've been waiting for the it thing to happen, he still tries to find a way to accommodate. But it's like, it seems like he never said, drop your entire life or drop any desire you had for your ambition and be at my beck and call, be my, the manager and the kid and the mom. It feels like it's something she felt like she had to do and now she regrets it. So now when something's the smallest thing, like she's like, girl, I got some good names here. I believe, yeah, that's not the same. It's not you. It's like, this is threatening. Like, this is the most important thing. This is my chance. Yeah, this has been your chance for 8 years. It's a little ridiculous.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, with she who must not be named. She's had. It's because it pisses me off because it gives that she's been a victim. I've been a victim to this beautiful life that I've led. I've been a victim. I told you I ain't want all these kids, but I had them. And so now it's problematic. You have this beautifully curated life, but you feel like you sacrifice so much. And I think it's just not based in reality. And I think that's been something we talked about before with the show in general and how I don't think it really is supposed to be based in reality, but I need her to get a grip. I need someone to slap her and say, girl, like, baby, you ain't sacrificed nothing. You don't know what sacrifice is, sis. At this point, from what we've seen, you've lived a very charmed life, and your entitlement is showing. You're not entitled to this black lady time, ma'am. And I think it just speaks to a deeper issue. She feels like she's sacrificed. She feels like she's given so her husband could do this, so her kids could do this. But baby, that's a million women's stories, and you still have it better than 99.5% of said women. So do
The
something
fact
else.
that she could coast this doc for 8 years and fund it and not bat an eye
Mhm.
says a whole lot. Like, you were angry. I'm sure you had to pay her. Like, and you could do it because you have that option. Child, we gonna see what happens with this. I hope it makes bank on PBS, girl. Cause Lord.
No. Only thing
But
we watching is Tiny Desk on NPR. Like, we're not waiting nobody on PBS.
um now Seema here has a job dilemma, and it's like, Lord, the way I was on pins and needles, like, okay, all right, the boss is saying, girl, it's time for me to sit down. I may look good, but I'm really 90. I'm trying to be set. Need my name dropped. I'm gonna hand it on over, not to you, but to somebody else. I was like, okay, here's the riff. It's gonna be some, broad, sexy, older, distinguished man that's gonna give Seema a run for her money. We're gonna get a steamy office romance, and he
Uh-uh.
gonna tame that beast. Yeah. And then he skipped his little happy ass, and I said, that is not what we need.
That's Ryan Serhant. I love him.
No. I just knew it was about to be a man, child. And it's just like, because despite everything she says and does, Seema, for the most part, career, it's that. Even if we have the option, you know what? I'm not liking any of this. With no partner mention. No, you're selling shares off to this person, putting this person in charge, and I've been here this whole time. Probably this young man probably hitting you off in your older, queer age. Who knows? But he's getting the proposition, and I'm not. Yeah, I have a guap of vacation time. I'll be back when I feel like it. I'm taking the champagne with me. Like, I need something to happen with her. And this whole, like, I don't need the adventures of Seema going off and discovering the woes of trying to have her business independently of this company. And I'm trying to be the realtor to the stars alone. And I don't care. I thought a man was coming. Where are the men in the Sex in the City? Huh? Where are the men? I just knew that there was a man coming. And even, like, it's inconsequential. We probably don't ever see that man again. Like, he's not gonna, it's just, they're not doing anything with her. And I hated that. I just knew we was about to see a man, and I was disappointed that we didn't. Ashley, do you care about this job dilemma and the gays, which I didn't like? The gays never do what I want them to do. I was like, what is this narrative? Why is that being uttered in the show? Like, I don't like it. And they have these situations a couple of times in the episode where she's encountering someone who just happens to be gay, and they're not getting or bringing her what she wants. See, I can never get what I want to from a gay. Like, what the hell?
Girl, they treat people like objects and products, and you know how people do. But I love Ryan Sarhan. Justice for Ryan. He was from Million Dollar Listing New York, and I adore him in real life because he's off the chain, big, huge in real estate. Adore him. But as far as this is concerned, I just wonder how Seema, at her big, ginormous age, she hasn't acquired the assets or isn't liquid enough to do what she needs to do to buy the firm out. Like, to me, it's giving you weren't thinking about this. You weren't thinking about your future. Looking in that man's face and under his eyes, I could tell that he was quite elderly. So, ma'am, you thought he was going to live indefinitely? Like, if you wanted to be, to me, it makes me think of her as very unserious when I think for these 3 seasons, they've tried to make us think that she's very career driven. She's at the top of her game. She's doing all this. Honey, I would think you'd be able to buy him out, sis. Like he said, well, can you buy me out? Well, no, because
No.
I didn't know you were, but you're of a certain age, ma'am. Like, you, instead of worrying about the Birkin, I would have been
She said she was
concerned about.
grandfathered in. I'm grandfathered into this company. I'm owed this.
I, I'd be preparing for that because she knows that the bottom line is the bottom line. Honestly, we'll probably see her roll around with that gardener before we see her with a man of of any sort of relevance. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with her character. Now,
Nothing.
this feels like a one-off as well right now, and strictly just to kind of support Carrie because her individual storylines are a miss for me. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that you're a woman of color in New York who worked your way up in real estate when your family wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer. You chose this career. You worked hard to build a clientele, and that you're just not prepared. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And when I have to start suspending reality for who this character, who they've tried to make her be for 2, 3 seasons now, I'm very disappointed because now she's a prop and an accessory as well. And I don't like that for her. I think she's better than that.
Because getting, borderline into my 60s, you know what? I can start my own, like, ma'am, excuse me? Is that where we're going? Okay. Yeah, she's just extremely comfortable from what we can see. And all of the whiplash snapping up, like, it's just all just kind of for show. I don't know. I think they forget a lot of things or intentions they have with these characters, and then later it lacks in consistency because I just don't care. Charlotte, boo, Charlotte's after party shenanigans. Operation we can still hang, and it was an embarrassing failure. Baby, when Harry pissed on himself, I was like, all right, it's time to go on, sit down, baby. It's time to go on, sit down if we're gonna go there. But I was like, we give a little bit and then we take a little back. I thought we already had this conversation with the family last season about, kind of finding, and I was somebody before your mom, da 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 da. But now we're back to her feeling left out because the co-workers in the gallery, they go out, they're younger, and this the after party and this, that. And I got to hear all the stories because I'm here. And mom, where's my laundry? Mom. Yeah, we already talked about this, Charlotte. Just go. And you didn't have to take Harry with you. Like, I thought Charlotte was going to adapt in her own way to see, like, I can have both. I can go out, and then when it comes to it, you know what, guys, I hung. I'm feeling the vibes. I feel more connected in this space with you guys. Now I'm gonna go home because I am an older woman. I do have a family, but I do know that it's okay for me to let them damn no grown ass kids. They can handle it. Harry can handle it, and I'll just come home a little later. This once or twice a month. No, Charlotte internalizes it so that would make knowing him so deep that now he wants to take you home to meet his mama. She internalizes this situation so deep that we're out with Harry in his button butter up fly jeans that he can't undo to go take a piss. And we're just out. And oh, it's another after party and another. And then they try to make it make sense for the audience because I'm not just here. There's potential for a client and I could maybe close a deal. And I'm missing, financial opportunities because they're out mixing and mingling. I did not like the dynamic that she had with her more so plus size coworker. We got the same narrative with this coworker that last season when she was body conscious and she went in there with 1,000 spanks on, and then she saw her like, well, if she's, I don't need all of this. What was I worried about? Look at her. And then you have her running around this party, pandering, panting, and just freaking out over this man giving desperation. And she has to hear about how this, like, I don't even, she's not my type. I don't want her, but hey, Charlotte, married women need love too. And we have this this incident in the bathroom that was really avoidable. They could have done this without having Charlotte look really naive and young. I feel like Charlotte is beyond this. Charlotte is very experienced. This feels like something a Charlotte, 29.
Hmm.
We're not that. This is almost 60 Charlotte. I know exactly what this is. Like, hold on, why am I in this enclosed space with you? He offered her cocaine. It's just a whole lot going on that I don't need from Charlotte at this good, solid age. Now, later on in the episode, she does realize, dude, I really need to be all out there to close the deal. I'm getting this deal here, and I really didn't even have to, do all of that. Now I'm stuck with a headache in a hangover. I don't know. It was entertaining to say the least in the episode, but I don't need her acting young, and I don't need Harry pissing his pants and taking a photo. Ashley.
Yeah, that was gross. I did think the little shopping trip could have been cute, except it was very rushed and we really didn't get too much of that. I would have actually enjoyed to see Carrie and Harry out and her picking like looks for him. I thought that would have been cute, but they nipped that in the bud to get Charlotte out at the club. And here's the thing, that's the way they led into it, right? I closed a $2 million deal. He bought this one from me that we hadn't been able to sell in forever. And so immediately she's thinking, okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to sell some paintings. But you're right. This was very redundant. The whole conversation at home with the kids, we've already done that. But now Harry wants to chime in. I was somebody before I was your dad, too. Come on, Charlotte, let's go together. And we proceed to go. They've got blow on the counter in the bathroom. This man is trying to get in her pants. Like, honestly, I don't care. Weight be damned. Charlotte is 50 something years old. And you mean to tell me he wants this cooter cat versus the young upwardly mobile cooter cat? I just make me a believer here. It just gave, let's put her in this situation because she's still that girl, and let's remind her of who she is. And I don't think she needed that. By this age, I would hope that Charlotte is fully confident in who she is, who she's become, the woman that she is, and not second guessing everything. But maybe this is like her midlife crisis. I don't know, but this was definitely embarrassing. It was definitely cringe. And it's definitely like, go home, Roger, both of y'all. Because when the husband pisses his pants, it's time to go. Like, get the Uber Black and go home. I was grossed out by that.
Wow, at least the jean material is so dark that you can't even tell. Get me a picture for the gram. Get a picture for the gram while Charlotte's sitting there in a funeral home best, blazer. Her Sunday's best blazer. So can we please get out this damn club with
No.
these Gen Zers? Charlotte, go home. Go home. I mean, okay. Okay. We'll see what happens with Charlotte next time. But and just like that, we do nothing with him. I wasn't expecting, a whole episode dedicated to Adam, but first of all, Logan is not a bad looking man. I know he's supposed to be, the little loof artistic gardener. Who cares? I'm gonna wear my little shirt. It looked dirty. It gave. I ain't gonna say that. It gave what I didn't want it to give. I didn't like this damn Whopper tank. And then we have Seema roll up. It's like, who's that? Like, oh, certain type of man to pull that off. I was like, are we trying to make this a thing with Seema?
That's what I'm saying. That's what it look like.
Are we trying to make this a thing with Seema? Like, with her, going against the grain and all she knows for a gardener? Like, oh, he's not even my type, but he's rocking my. Okay. I really thought this man was sitting here for Carrie to get us as far away from Aiden as possible, as quickly as possible. He could have not been in the episode and nothing would have happened. So the fact that we placed him here just to meet Seema makes me feel like he's here for Seema, and that's not what I expected. Ashley?
Yeah, like I said, that's who we'll see her rolling around with next in the weeds with this gardener with his Dad bod apparently, because I don't know why this was necessary, that belly hanging out with the like, come on, guy. But yeah, I too thought that this was going to be for Carrie. I said, oh, she's going to be Stella, she's going to get her groove back. But he's giving kind of bummy, like I just the aesthetic, not saying that because he's a gardener, but just he's just not looking very appealing. Seema, what you see over here? Like, what do you see? But definitely they're trying to set this up for something deeper with her. If she mess around and fall in love with him, I'm gonna be too through, because he doesn't even give that much personality either. Like, I could understand maybe if he was charismatic or super artistic and, just specialized in whatever, but he doesn't give that. He gives just very plain and basic, like his tank top.
I thought Carrie was going to have her Sanaa length in something new moment by this time.
Mhm.
I
No, no,
thought
he
she
can
was
never
going to see
be. He can never be Mr. Man.
him, Simon
Uh-uh.
Simon Baker.
No,
I
no,
thought
no,
he was
no,
going to be out there,
no,
wiping
no.
beads of sweat off his forehead and plowing in the earth in the yard. She's like, oh my God, what that be like? Because Aiden ain't giving me none. Like something. Like it was just like no, or maybe see like, he could be charming or have some depth, but if we're not giving him any dialogue and he's just literally in the scene to wear this funky ass tank top, what do we expect? I don't know. Hopefully
I
we do
mean,
something. Hmm?
Simon Baker was a gardener too, but he ain't looked dirty. He looked a little sweaty, a little, whatever, but it was like glistening, like fine. Like, imagine Thor out there as your gardener. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of steam heat I want in my garden.
I don't know
Like,
what they're
just
doing
saying.
with him. I'm like, are they doing something to clean him up? Like, cause it's the scrub. Like, it's not even like, sexy scrub. It's just like, have you showered today? I don't know what's happening.
Mhm.
I don't know what's happening, but fix it. Fix it. I thought we had a man. Y'all know I've been looking for the man. Don't do this. Don't
There
do
are
this. Rick.
so many options these days for nice looking men to come out. I don't know. I don't know
So
what's going
many
on.
who would love an opportunity to come on the show. I told you when I saw Tay Diggs in the little, I was like, not you being used for promo, Tay. I just knew you was gonna be a guest star to one of these women. Something. No, but not so Samantha. Now, immediately once we had the table and Seema's like, well, Carrie, if nobody can come, I can come with you. That was very Samantha. These are the trips where even going to see Aiden, this made me think of anybody who's watched Sex in the City, that episode where we had, Aiden and Big and the fight and that moment where Samantha was getting her life with that young man in the barn when we went to visit Aiden, or that episode where they took a trip on that little small train and it was a whole thing. Bottom line, we do have the sisterly, if nobody's going to be here, I'm going to be here, Samantha and Carrie go on this trip journey episodes. It's like Sex in the City staples. You get an episode, it feels like every season. And I was like, oh, we're doing this with Seema. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. I understand what they're trying to do, and they do have these cultivated moments of them trying to bond, like with the chicken, or with Carrie not taking her own advice. We have Seema talking about her career woes or lack thereof, and it's just, go for what you want, ask for what you want. Basically, closed mouths don't get fed. Before you jump and talk about starting your own company and quitting, just voice that you want these things. She's not taking her advice because she's definitely not doing this with Aiden. We're not voicing anything with Aiden. So there's that. I knew what they were trying to do, but it just really wasn't that for me. Actually, I know you haven't seen, the Sex and the City yet, but how did you feel about their sisterly bond road trip moment?
Like parts of it I thought were, funny because it kind of turned into like Murphy's Law, right? The rental car, and I said you have to be a really level, you have to have like a really attained a certain level of wealth to not know that your driver's license expired like 8 years ago. That's insanity to me. But I liked kind of the comedy of errors, like everything was kind of going wrong. She went down there for the fried chicken and they didn't have a lick of fried chicken. It's a new menu now. We've changed that. Those were kind of on the surface fun, but I believed their friendship more in earlier seasons than now. I
Yeah.
wasn't really like moved or like, okay, that's her girl for real. Like they ride for each other. It didn't come off that way. And I think we had opportunities here for whatever reason. It just didn't land. Even like, when you have a pajama party with like your girlfriends or whatever, that didn't even quite hit. And I'm like, is it because they still kind of have a very superficial relationship? You already know I felt like Seema wasn't a great friend anyway. I thought she was jealous of Carrie. And so I just wonder if there's like, if there's residue of that I feel as to why like I can't buy fully their friendship. But I mean, it was a placeholder. That's all it gave for me. It's like, oh, she just has somebody to take this trip with. And like I said, the little topical things were cute, but it didn't hit like this is my soul sister.
They should have. Like, Samantha is such a good friend to Carrie. Always has been. If nobody's going to be there, I mean, they're all friends, and Samantha was always the one that kind of went out of her way or out of her norm because, baby, no kids, no nothing, no man, no nothing, no marriage. I can move on my own. But if you need me, I'm going to be there, even if I need to pull, your diaphragm out the coochie. I'm going to do that as your friend. Like, it was very deep, and they would have these little road trip moments, and they would be so like
Mm.
charming and fun. And I think that's what they were trying to do. And I felt like with Seema, they wanted to give her growth because remember last season when I was iffy about our trip, and you're with Aiden now, maybe I need to take a step back. And it was low key kind of giving jealousy. Oh, not only am I here with you, but I have no problem, girl. Yeah. And I think what was that moment where Carrie was like, oh, he didn't even ask me to stay. Oh, Carrie, please. Aiden didn't even ask me to stay. It just seems like he's like, yeah, lunch. Can't wait for that. Uh-huh. But I mean, he didn't even ask me to stay. And because you're all the way over there. No, what? No, it's actually just 20 minutes, down the street. I can be there real quick. Like, oh, so you have to make no accommodations, no real sacrifice, and you're not even asking me to stay with you beyond lunch. Well, Carrie, maybe you should, take your own, like, ask for what. And of course, we have that incident where she backs up and he's the knight in shining armor.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, our luggage is in the trunk and, just let me cop a flight. And, you have your time with your man. It's okay because I'm not worried about it like I was last season. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't
Mhm.
enough, but I wanted to acknowledge that I saw what y'all was trying to do. But getting into the BS, because Aiden is weird. Aiden is weird. Aiden has bodies buried in the backyard. Aiden is unsettling. Y'all know I am a horror girly. I love a good horror movie down. Aiden is giving me like, y'all remember, okay, the vibes like the neighbor across the street in a horror movie will give you. Think something like Fright Night, like OG Fright Night, or even the more contemporary one with Colin Farrell, where it's like something going on in that house across the street. I don't know what it is. He's trying to give off charming, but it's giving off death, or like Disturbia. Back when with Shia LaBeouf and that man was over there committing crimes in that house and he was being a voyeur. Aiden is giving me that. He has a knife in his pocket. He can't be trusted. I don't know what's going on. And it's not even about, it's like, he's suppressing something. There is some darkness going on there. He is. I don't care, Ashley. There's something going on behind Aiden's eyes. I'm scared. I didn't know what he was going to do to Kara. I don't know. He might chain her up and never let her go back to New York again. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Aiden used to be so charming and so funny and brought out this completely other side to Carrie. This is something else. They tried to give this knight in shining armor pulling up in my pickup, and you ladies need a goober. Yeah, it's a good, like, yeah, whatever. And then he immediately cut it off. I feel like it's a mask because he's trying to hide whatever's really going on with him in this home and his son from Carrie. And he's trying to pretend like everything is okay, and it's clearly not. Once they got there, and she like, well, yeah, here's the Adderall, and like, yeah, you can't come in the house because we kind of have this rule where I have to, tell the kids prior, and I didn't get a chance because it's trying to sprung on me. So yeah, you can stay in the guest house. Unacceptable, strange, strange, and unacceptable. And the fact that she just let that roll off her back and was like, okay. And we go back into this fantasy typing, and I'm tired of us, rearing and pulling the camera out from these windows like she's Rapunzel. It was horrific. I felt scared for her, and I don't feel safe with Aiden. He's scary. I just need him to go away. I don't know if it's the lack of lips. I don't know what it is, but I don't trust the man as far as I can throw him, and I feel like he got Knives in his pocket, and he knows where the bodies are buried. And Carrie is not safe. Nobody's safe until Aiden is far away. Ashley.
I think this is Get Back, and I don't know what happened, but I do think he is a sinister person. I don't think he's got bodies in the back, but I think he don't give a damn about this lady. Like, there's no way she's traveled from New York, booked a little press thing there so she could do something that she really didn't have to do, that really wasn't going to be the most advantageous for her book or any of thing of the sort. And the fact that you were like, yeah, you can't come in, you can't sit here. And it's like, what do you mean? What is this rule? How many hoes do you have staying at your house that you have to give forewarning? Like, it was very odd, very weird, especially after I've trafficked dope for your son. I can't even come into the main house, Aiden. Like, Aiden don't like this lady. He don't love me. He don't like me. He don't want me. Like, it's nothing of the sort. You done left her in this big mansion, the Gramercy place, which I love that. I love that place. But you done left her there just to fend for herself. I don't feel like this is any man I would ever want in my life. He gives no dams. She can't even call him on the phone. Like, what is this? And now I got to stay in the guest house, and you've got a limited time. In the morning, is your Uber coming to get you, or do I need to drive you where you need to go because you can't come in? So, I mean, I don't know, and it may not be anything as deep as all that, but I will say he doesn't give that he likes this lady or ever loved her. And I agree with Nicole. You never go back to a man whose heart you've broken in a million pieces. Never, because I think consciously or subconsciously, there's always going to be a part of them that's going to remember that and wants to make you pay. I think he wants to make Carrie pay.
I don't know if there are any horror movie watchers out there. Tell me Aiden
What?
doesn't give the house that Jack built. He doesn't give, I'm picking up random pedestrians on the street hitchhiking so I can go kill them in the woods. He gives that with that damn pickup truck. It is dark. I don't care. I don't like it. I
Mine's
don't
dark
like
and
it.
full of
It's
terrors,
it's
Lord.
dark and it's weird. I don't know. And I'm like, is this just a mask? Because y'all can't think that you're writing him in any way to be accommodating or even attractive. It's just not. It was always, cute. Like, it's just nothing. It's nothing. And it's weird, the low effort. Like, okay, Aiden was always low effort. He was never going to be the suit and tie guy. Like, it's just something really unattractive about Aiden. And I cannot believe that she sat there and swallowed go to the guest house until I can figure things out. I don't know if he's being completely honest with his sons or Wyatt or whatever about how serious Carrie may think this is, or the Gramercy place, or because he doesn't want to trigger something. I don't know. I feel like he's lying about something because there shouldn't have been a reason. There's like, do they know about me in that light, or am I still just the ex in NYC that I visit here and again? And I'm gonna come back home. They do know eventually. Like, were you expecting to keep Carrie sat for 5 years like
Yeah.
that? Are you crazy? It's
Yeah, that's
weird.
what he said. He said it like it'll
It's
go by
weird.
like that. That's what he said. And just like that, it'll go by.
Yeah,
5 years.
he's weird. Look at that picture. Look at his face. That's a killer. I don't know. But y'all laughing at me. I'm dead ass. I'm so serious. Like, Aiden is very horrific in that way. I've seen too many horror movie edits. He gives that. He gives the presenting nice guy. But once I have you in my guest house, you're never leaving. It's weird. It's weird. But okay. We'll see what happens. Getting into, I guess, predictions, Ashley, what are you expecting from episode 4?
Girl, I don't expect anything. I expect she who must not be named to devolve even further, as she's trying to figure out what she's going to do for these 10 episodes, which, you've been doing it for 8 years. You should have everything you need. Just hire an editor and get it done. Of course, we'll see Carrie, I think, have to come to terms with the fact that Aiden really just don't like her like that, and get back to New York and see what's popping. I hope she really throws herself into work or to decorating this place. Like, girl, find a hobby at this point, Carrie. As far as Miranda, we're probably going to see her make out with that new lady that she went to happy hour with. And Charlotte, I think she's going to continue to do well at work, but I think we're going to see her Well, you know how like we see those movies and like the men get like 50, 60 years old and they buy a Corvette. I think we're going to see Charlotte mix some stuff up. I don't know if she's going to want to try to like dress younger or what the thing is, but I don't think this whole reinvent herself thing is done. Like I think that's the common theme with the show. The only one who seems not to be getting on board with the reinvention is Carrie. She seems like she want to go back in time somewhere. I need her to evolve.
Girl, look at Aiden all up around the mouth area. I just don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. Where your bottom lip, Aiden? I just don't want to see Aiden anymore. I'm hoping whatever transpires at the Virginia estates over there with Aiden is the last straw for Carrie. I'm hoping that all of this she's been suppressing, I hope it all bubbles up and she just lets go. Cause you couldn't possibly be okay with this. Any of this that's going on, the waiting, the Gramercy place, the guest house, the Adderall, the lack of accountability as far as me supposed to, wait 5 years and I'm gonna my boys. Like, I not understand Aiden wanting to be a good dad and prioritize his children, but this is a bit much. This is a bit much, and I feel like there has to be something more going on if he can't be alone and we're trying to have him. And I did like the moment in the show where it was like Annie up with the Adderall. It's like, oh, everybody's child's medicated. Okay. Yeah, what you got is very, drugs. But if it's that bad, I think he is having a tough time admitting to himself, or maybe even the mom, maybe Wyatt needs more help than we're actually saying. I
Provide.
don't know. But hopefully that's it. Or she figures out, you know what, I can't accommodate you in this way. The gardener looks good. I don't know if Seema ain't looking at him. Um, with how cut and dry the storylines are, I think that was it for Charlotte in her quest for youth. I don't see her doing anything else. I don't see Charlotte doing much of anything. Lisa in this doc, please give her something else. The Michelle Obama of it all, it's not enough. Give her something else. Maybe there's a point of contingency with this new editor. Like, at least keep the threads consistent. It seems like every episode we're kind of on to something new, so we're not able to grow into any real narratives. Like with Charlotte in this quest to be connected to the youth and the art and trying to cross ways with, who she is now as an art dealer older. That's just not happening. Um, yeah, hopefully Lisa gets something. Seema, just Miranda, just I don't know. I don't know. Just do something. I guess maybe kick this relationship love interest into overdrive and let's just kind of get to the getting, since that seems to be their main focus. They don't want us to go to work with her. So let's get into it. Get us invested into this BBC news heifer. I don't know or care anything about the heifer. But we'll wait and see. It seems like with every episode we're trying to get better. Let's not drop the ball in episode 4. But y'all, that was the episode. Ashley, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Don't forget, we're celebrating Father's Day this weekend with a movie marathon. We will be back on Sunday to talk fathers on Father's Day. Well, not talk fathers, but watch fathers in a movie marathon. Tomorrow night is Blockbuster movie night for all the members of the Struggle or the Sweet Peas, and it's my night, and we will be watching His Girl Friday. Exceptional, if I do say so myself. And I believe we are having a collective news episode tomorrow too. So make sure that you're locked in. Also, they'll be doing a Feynman live tonight. I won't be there because I need to get in this bed. But they will be doing a Feynman live tonight. So make sure you are locked in for that. And then make sure you go to their channels to support while they're
Oh
doing
yeah.
that.
Extra spicy fine man. Y'all know it's Friday the 13th. I had to put some stank on it, like I say. So that's gonna be a good time. Be sure to come back in, an hour or so and join us for that. We would actually hour and a half. We would love to have you. But I'm gonna leave you guys with the Father's Day promo if you guys want to join us. Sunday afternoon to get into all these wonderful dads and run up a binge. We would love to have you, and we will see you guys next time for all things. And just like that, have a good night. Thank you guys.
Who's the man? You're the man. Strong, healthy, black man. Huh? dun dun, bum up, dun dun. Time to celebrate. Your dreams, if you know.